So there's $30,000 more that aren't going towards the community because it's money that somebody has to come up with, whether it's the church, whether it's the shelter funders, some combination. All that money is going to go to attorneys and engineers. Not begrudging them their money, of course, but it's still $30,000 that isn't helping.
So what is
in and of itself isn't helping someone.
What is the time frame to find out what the state is going to let you do?
Probably end of January, early February. They have at least been good enough to try to expedite their rulings with us.
So if you get a waiver.
If we get the waiver for here, we'll certainly agree to do the low-hanging fruit. Okay, we have to fix the way a toilet flushes. We have to add some, 7 or 8 inches to a railing or what have you, the slope over there between the dining room that we talked about. Okay, that's going to be an expensive one, but if we can do it. That may have to get a waiver too, we don't know. And they were very unhappy with that and again, but at least that has something that a person utilizing a shelter might actually utilize. Unless they come to our Sunday services, they will never be in here, ever.
Okay.
They'd have to come to church, which they're most welcome to do. Everyone's most welcome to come to church, but that's the one, an hour a Sunday is when this room would be used by someone who might potentially go to the shelter. So we're probably going to have to go that route and turn it into a separate entity, it would be a condo style, if you will. That would be the legal structure of it. But that's probably what we're going to have to do because we don't know if we'll get the waivers. And if we do, there might be, okay, we get this waiver, but not another one. There's several. I said there's 27 exceptions to current
So what's
code.
the soonest you can update us? And is there anything that the average resident can do? Is there someone they can write to or call?
Certainly, absolutely.
Okay.
And you can, all our local politicians, even though, as I mentioned, they have been very supportive, and that's important, but their voice is going to mean more to Boston than our voice. You can certainly call, Adam Hines, Tricia Bouvier, Mayor Tyler, Representative Bouvier, Senator Hines, and, Mayor Tyler. You can certainly contact them or your council member here in Pittsfield and say, hey, we really support this project. What's going on? And we understand it's kind of a snafu, a legal snafu, holding up this very, very needed project for our city.
And who would they be contacting? Do you know offhand?
Who would?
Would the average resident, other than
Well,
with the state, if they wanted to?
You could probably get the Architectural Review Board, I believe it's called, or something very close to that. I mean, I can give you the information offline and who they are, and someone could maybe contact them directly and say, hey, we want to get this to happen. Again, these folks are trying to do their job. We're not suggesting that they aren't. But as I've said earlier, a lot of this stuff is kind of picayune, and if they came and looked at our facility, they'd say, okay, yeah, maybe it doesn't apply to today's code. It certainly applied to code many times previously, but codes are always updated and usually strengthened, made more arduous, and see that our facility is absolutely handicap accessible. And certainly, the church itself, even aside, this is about the shelter,
Right.
which has an entry, street level entry on Pearl Street and an elevator to the second floor.
Which is something we've been waiting for quite some time and is much needed here.
Absolutely, and it's a perfect. We have a commercial kitchen here, a big dining room. That facility, regrettably, you don't need. That was our old education wing back from 70 years ago, when they built it, and that is unfortunately there's not enough people coming to churches anywhere anymore. So you don't have 100 kids for Sunday school. So that facility, that's part of our building, simply wasn't needed by us anymore. We moved some offices around and were able to free up all that space for, most of it was unused anyway, free up that space for the shelter. It's perfect. Perfect location, perfect, perfect setup, everything somebody needs, and they can do this. Now, if this is going to cost, $950,000, imagine what a new building would cost.
Right.
This is to rehab a building that's got a whole bunch of stuff already. I mean, you can spend $300,000 just on a commercial kitchen.
So is there a day that you'll have the next answer?
I would hope that sometime in early February.
Okay.
And so of course, you and I talk a bunch anyway. I'll keep you updated on it.
Absolutely.
As soon as we know what's going on with it, I'll keep you updated on the steps and where we're going. And I really do believe we'll end up with having to make a separate structure for $30,000. Probably what's going to have a separate legal structure so that is, therefore the church proper is not subject to those codes. Probably what's going to happen, but I'll let you know. And folks, we can use all your support. You know, please call your elected officials, and Mike will have the information for the review board as well. So always thank you for what you do for our city, man. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Well,
Thank you, Mike.
thank you for your time, Jim. I
Always.
appreciate it.
Any day, man.